The visual preference survey conducted on Mountain Lakes downtown and its train station consisted of a 25 multiple choice questionnaire and a rating of 27 pictures on a scale of -10 to +10. The questions that were asked concentrated on the evaluation of Mountain Lakes and possible recommendation. The images show the current condition of Mountain Lakes and possible improvements to the study area. The survey was taken by 52 participants, which varied in demographics. Most of the participants were between 16 to 22 years old. More than 50% were females, ethnicities were diverse, household income ranged from low to high, and half of the participants completed some level of college education. 32% of the participants agreed that the least favorite aspects of Mountain Lakes was the insufficient number of businesses and restaurants, followed by too many parking lots and not enough people. 98% of the responses agreed that Mountain Lakes downtown will benefit from more businesses and restaurants in the study area. Currently, there is a library, a post office, a train station, 2 restaurants, a garage, and a train toy shop. 80% of the participants have never used Mountain Lakes downtown train station, and 13% have never been. Only 1 participant used the train station often. Same goes for somewhat often and rarely often. 61% of the participants also believe that the study area is a perfect location to place affordable housing for low-income residents and the working force. Here are some of the image results. The first image is located in front of the Hapgoods restaurant. There is parking on both sides of the streets and barely space for the public ground. The simulation places a plaza in front of the restaurant and adds an elevated walkway across from it. The second image is located behind the Hapgoods restaurant. Currently, the space is used by supply trucks, parking spots, and garbage disposal. The simulation places a gathering space with Mountain Lakes historic rocks in the background and greenery. The third image is the lane behind the Hapgoods restaurant. The lane is underutilized, although it is accessible to the public. The simulation adds different forms of businesses, transportation, and space for public activities. The first simulation sees an average increase of 3.5 amongst the participants, placing it with a mean of 6 and a standard deviation of 2. The second simulation sees an average increase of 11.4 amongst the participants, placing it with a mean of 7.6 and a standard deviation of 1.2. The third simulation sees an average increase of 5 amongst the participants, placing it with a mean of 6.5 and a standard deviation of 1.6. Based on the results of the survey and the recommendations of the participants, some policies recommendations have been made. Mountain Lakes should add street medians, a publicly accessible plaza, a publicly accessible walkway, sidewalk plantings and street lighting, mixed-use buildings with storefronts, and activate its train station with affordable housing around it. Street medians can be implemented around the streets which surround Mountain Lakes downtown. A median, even if it is only 2 feet wide, can successfully slow down the vehicles to allow for a safer pedestrian experience. Although most surrounding streets are 25 miles per hour, achieving and maintaining a 15 miles per hour speed around the downtown area is more plausible with narrower streets. The downtown lacks a space dedicated for public gathering. With its current Hapgoods-style building being its most used restaurant, the street block adjacent to the restaurant should be permanently blocked for vehicular traffic and turned into a pedestrian street/plaza. This will allow for larger public gathering directly in front of restaurants and storefronts. Vehicles can be redirected through the back of the restaurant lane since it's already connected to the street traffic. The redirected traffic will not affect travel time or congestion. Also, given that the public realm would increase in size, people outside of the downtown area will be more attracted towards the site. An elevated walkway/attraction could increase the downtown usage and add to the pedestrian realm. Mountain Lake's rooted traditions of walking to and from schools through trails could be modified for their downtown as well. The elevated walkway can be placed across the Hapgood's restaurants. It will be accessible to the proposed plaza, the esplanade, and the train station. This walkway does not have to be intrusive to trees and the elevation, as it will sit above grade, supported by the rock wall found in Midvale Road. Each sidewalk should be lined with trees, plants, and lighting. Trees and lights are a divider between cars and the pedestrian realm. Mid-sized trees should be placed 15 feet apart, surrounded by flower beds of 2 feet wide on both sides. In between trees, there should be a light pole. At a minimum, there should also be a garbage can every 25 feet apart, or 3 per block. Plants are not limited to the outer ends of the sidewalk. They can also be placed in front of stores and restaurants. Mixed-use buildings are the most appropriate buildings to place in Mountain Lake's downtown. Certain parking lots and property lots around the train station can be infilled with mixed-use buildings. These buildings can increase the first floor height to a maximum of 15 feet to allow for retail use on the ground level. Buildings such as this one presented fit well with Mountain Lake's elevations, since the height and usage of the first floor vary depending on the street elevation. The current train station could be lined up with mixed-use buildings that provide a number of affordable housing units on their upper level. Affordable housing units strategically placed close to the downtown could provide a larger working force for the surrounding businesses. It can also increase the downtown population, assisting the study area in becoming more active over time. The train can serve as a means of transportation for residents that travel further distances. Increasing the population around the train station can also increase the demand, while providing a more sustainable form of transportation. A minimum of 25 units should be built on the lot across the train station. Infills could potentially occur in the underused parking lots across the Mountain Lakes Plaza and behind the Hapgood's restaurant, totaling up to possible 25 more units. Thank you for viewing the Mountain Lakes Visual Preference Survey report and listening to the recommendations.